All right, here we go. Here we go. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is episode 5 of the Clicks to Clients podcast. I'm your host, Clinton Jiggets. And before we get started with this episode, I want to ask you something that I think is a real question if you're a business owner. When somebody in your local city searches Google for services that you offer right now, does your business show up? Pause this podcast right now, open up another tab, and test it out. If you sell flowers, type in florist near me. If you sell wedding cakes, then type in wedding cakes near me. Whatever it is that you sell, go to Google right now and tell me if your business shows up when someone goes to search for what you do. Now I want to ask you an even harder question. When someone asks ChatGPT to recommend the service that you offer in the city that you're in, or they ask Siri to find the best insert what you service or sell here near them, does Google's AI or chat or whatever AI model that you use, does it show your business as a result? When you think about Google and its AI, it just answers the question directly without showing you any links at all. Is your business there? Is your business in the answer? Probably not. But search is changing. Search is changing literally on a daily basis. I've been in this industry for 10 years, and I've never seen the hyperdrive that search is changing on a daily basis. And the business owners who understand that it's changing daily are the ones who are setting themselves up for long-term success. They're the ones that are going to go and pull far ahead of their competition in a way that was previously not possible in such a small window of time. So today, I am going to break down 3 things: SEO, AEO, and GEO. I'm going to break these down into plain language without fluff. You're going to understand what each one of these terms mean for you as a business owner who is doing it themselves when it comes to digital marketing, and you're going to be set up for long-term success as this ever evolving search criteria is changing on a daily basis. I'm going to give you practical steps that you can actually take and implement this week. As always, for every episode, comment free PDF in this video with your contact details, so your email address, and I will forward you a free PDF, no strings attached. And of course, if you want to bring in an agency for professional consultation to have a full audit of your site and your digital footprint done, we do those for free. Be happy to get you set up for that as well. But ultimately, I'm going to give you some actionable steps that can help you work toward making your business findable starting this week and findable everywhere where your customers are looking. So let's get into it. First, I have to introduce myself again. You are watching the Clicks to Clients podcast, the show where I break down digital marketing in real terms for real business owners. I am a real business owner. My name is Clinton Jiggets. I'm the founder of Best Fit Digital. We are a boutique digital marketing agency located here in Baltimore. So let's get started without further delay. Let me start off by saying that how you are found online starts with SEO, or search engine optimization. Write that down, please. Every day, people go to Google, they go to Bing, and they type in what they need. Emergency plumber near me, best divorce attorney in my city, affordable HVAC repair, open on the weekends. Google's job is to look at every website on the internet and decide who gives the best answer to that question. Then it lines them up and shows you the results. SEO is the work you do to make Google choose your website and your business. That's it. You are not gaming a system. You are simply making it easy as possible for Google to see you as a reliable resource for that search criteria. Google has to understand what your business does, where you do it, and why you are the best option. And here's why it matters even more than almost anything else that you can do as it relates to marketing. Ads stop working the second you stop paying. The moment you no longer have a budget, your ads stop. But SEO is a long-term plan that compounds over time. Every piece of content you create Every optimization you make builds on itself. A website that you optimize today can still be bringing in leads 2 years from now if you take the actionable steps that SEO provides. Ads, the best way to think about it, are for rent, are for lease. They're only as good as you're paying the bills. SEO is equity. It is truly compound interest in assets that you are building over time. Now, there are three primary pillars to SEO that I want to give you each of you to quickly understand and digest SEO as a foundation. And again, comment free PDF. I'll send you over a PDF overview with a 90-day executable plan to build your digital footprint. But these three pillars are critical. It starts with what we refer to in the industry as technical SEO. This is your foundation. Google needs to be able to read your site, which means it needs to load fast and it needs to be built around a certain type of structure that is pleasing to the Google algorithm. If your website, for example, takes more than 3 seconds to load on a phone, you are already losing. Tools like Google Search Console, which is free, Google Page Speed, which is free, will tell you exactly where you have issues. And then, whether you're using Best Fit Digital or this free podcast or other resources, there's lots of information you can use to make the information that Google is giving you for free actionable. Pillar 2 is what we refer to as on-page SEO. Now, this is the content on your actual pages. You don't want to duplicate information. You don't want to have the exact same information on every page. You also don't want to put information on your page and never update it. This is where the power of blogs and content and articles and white pages come in. Your homepage, though, should clearly state what you do and where you serve. Your service pages should go deep on each service. Your keywords, which are the phrases and words that your customers actually type into Google, need to show up naturally in your content. And when I say naturally, that's really important. So, for example, if you are an HVAC company in Annapolis, Maryland, your site should say HVAC repair in Annapolis, somewhere naturally appearing on that site. Natural is a really important word that I'm using here because you don't want to try to be over the top and repeating the same terms where it's not part of the natural language of the paragraph or the headline or the sentence. Pillar 3 is what's referred to as your off-page SEO. This is where you build your authority, backlinks from reputable websites, your Google business profile, your online reviews, your presence in local directories. All of it signals to Google that not only are you real and a trusted business, but you are worth them ranking. If you're able to invest the time to master those 3 pillars, then you will be ahead of the curve for most of your local competition. Most aren't willing to invest that time. They just hope that SEO just kind of works out magically. Like, if people are just going to find me because I have a great product or I have a great service. You very well may have a great product and a great service, but that doesn't mean crap to Google when it comes to indexing and ranking your website and your pages. The way people search, though, is ever evolving and changing, again, in a way that most business owners have completely missed to date. And that leads us to AEO. So AEO is exactly what it sounds like, another complex term that doesn't resonate to you unless you know what it stands for. So this is your answer engine optimization. Answer engine optimization. So we have search engine optimization. Now we have answer engine optimization. And this is where things, in my opinion, gets really, really interesting. So I want you to think about how you search now compared to even let's say 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you might have typed in plumber Baltimore into Google and clicked through a few websites. Today, you probably ask a question. You say to your phone, "Hey Siri, find me a plumber near me that is open right now." Or you might type into Google, who is the best law attorney in Baltimore? And Google just answers you right there at the top. No clicking required, no mining through results. It's going to answer you right there at the top. This is an answer engine. And optimizing for is called AEO. Again, answer engine optimization. Google's featured snippets, if you look at the AI overview at the top of Google search results, that is a clear example of what this truly is when it comes to AE. AI assistant is there to answer all these things. They do not just show you a list of websites, they give you an answer, a direct answer, and that answer is pulled from one source. Hear me again, one source. If your business is that source, you win the whole search. However, the key thing to keep in mind as you understand AEO and answer engines is they are looking for content that is directly and clearly answering the specific question, not vague content, not marketing fluff, actual, useful, structured answers. That's what they're searching for. So, what does this mean to you as the small business owner? This means that you need to start today creating content that answers the exact questions your customers ask. And I mean the conversational questions, the way real people actually talk, not just keywords where you're trying to hit on everything that Google might have, and you're casting too broad of a net. You want to be specific, narrow down to real questions that your customers are asking. So I want you to think about it. Again, I'll use the HVAC example. They're not just typing HVAC Baltimore anymore. Think about it. 5 years ago, you were typing HVAC Baltimore, attorney Baltimore, Thai food near me, whatever you were typing, it was much more basic. But now, because of the evolution of how we search and how things are changing on a daily basis, you might type in, how much does it cost to replace an AC unit in Maryland? They are asking, should I do it if my heat goes out in the middle of the night? What should I do? They're asking, how long does a water heater last before I need to replace it? They are asking questions and they respect the results that Google is providing. These are the questions you need to be answering on your website in plain language. So it's natural for Google to index it, crawl it, and use it for direct responses. So here is a really quick win for you. Create an FAQ on your site, an FAQ page on your website. Sit down and write out 10 questions your customers ask you all the time. If you need to poll your employees, if you need to just go back and look through your CRM and look at some meeting notes, come up with at minimum 10 questions that your customers always ask, and then answer each one directly and thoroughly. That page alone can start showing up in Google's AI overview when folks ask questions, rather verbally or via the search. The other thing that helps AEO enormously is something called schema markup. I know that sounds very, very technical, but I want you to stay with me. Schema markup is just a little bit of code you add to your website that tells Google exactly what your content is. It can flag your page as an FAQ page, a local business listing, and how-to guide. When Google understands what type of content you have, it is much more likely to pull your answer to the top. You do not need to know how to write schema code yourself. That's important to know. I'm here as a helper to small businesses who are doing it themselves. But you might need to either watch a few YouTube videos or talk to your web developer to add it. If you have a WordPress site, which to me is probably still the best CMS for building a website, they have a couple plugins that you can use, like Yoast or Rank Math, and they can do it for you. The point is to know it exists and to make sure it is on your website. We had SEO, AEO, and now we have GEO, which is Generative Engine Optimization. This is the newest one. And if you think about how you use language learning models, so ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, whatever your preferred language learning model is, if you think about how you use those today, they have become a competitor for the traditional search, and they're going to leapfrog traditional search in very little time. So if you aren't getting in on the ground floor, think of the dot-com boom and the opportunities that were missed. This is the business boom opportunity that you need to get in front of. Again, this is the newest one, and in my opinion, it's part of the most important shift in how search is conducted. So GEO again stands for Generative Engine Optimization, and it is ultimately about making sure your business gets mentioned and recommended by AI tools. So again, I mentioned ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, whatever those tools are that you use, you want to be findable there. And where it's happening right now is more and more people are skipping the traditional search entirely and just asking AI. They open ChatGPT and say, recommend a good personal injury attorney in my city. They might go to Gemini and say, what is the best HVAC company near my location? And the AI gives them a list of recommendations. So they're circumventing the Google search. The question you have to ask yourself right now, and you can pause this video, open another tab and go check it out. Go to ChatGPT, type in the service or product that your business sells and says, recommend this type of business to me, and see if you show up in the search results. You likely are not if you aren't already doing something as relates to GEO. But GEO, again, is brand new territory. So you have an opportunity to get in ahead of your competitors. Most competitors don't even know it exists right now, or they think like most business owners, which is not a dig at you. You kind of think it just naturally just happens. You know, as long as I'm here and my business exists online, I'm sure ChatGPT will find me and recommend me. That is just not how it works. The way these AI tools decide who to recommend is based on a number of data points, but they are trained on massive amounts of internet data, websites, articles, reviews, directories, news coverage. Ask for recommendations. The AI pulls from everything it has learned. And if your business has a strong presence across trusted online sources, you are more than likely to show up. If you only exist on your own website and nowhere else, you are invisible to these tools. Invisible. So what can you do about it? That's why we're here. This is for the do-it-yourselfers. First, get your business listed and active everywhere. Your Google business profile, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, Angie, industry-specific directories, your local chamber of commerce. You want to get as many places that are trusted sources online as possible. The more places, your business name, address, and phone number, so your NAP, we talked about that in the last episode, the more consistently it appears across the internet, the more the AI recognizes you, your business, as a real established business. This takes time, but it does not take expertise. You're investing time in getting your website mentioned on all these places. And it's pretty simple. You can go to each one of these sources and register or join and get your business listed. It's not terribly complex. It just takes time. Second, you want to earn mentions on reputable websites. If a local news outlet covers your business, that is great. If an industry blog references you, that's great. If a trusted local publication writes about you, that's also great. But those mentions train the AI to associate your business with your service area in industry. Further, this is where community involvement comes in. So if you're a small business owner, you sponsor a recreation team, or you volunteer for a nonprofit organization, you make a donation, you volunteer for a day where they're giving back to the community. Whatever you do that builds your community involvement, and you create press releases, or you're being quoted by an expert in your field, that pays off in a huge, huge way. Third is your reviews. Of course, reviews matter for so many different reasons. Social proof, trust, building brand authority are all completely important components. But when it comes to GEO, how your business is ranked as it relates to reviews is especially important. And how it leverages reviews is going to be pretty obvious once you get into the thick of it. But AI tools heavily weigh your review sentiment when it comes to making recommendations. A business with 200 reviews is averaging 4.8 is going to get recommended over a business with 12 reviews at 4.0 stars every single time. Make it a system to ask every happy customer for a review. Make the follow-up really easy until you compel them to leave you the review. Fourth is create content that establishes you as a local authority. You want to be an SME, subject matter expert. You have to create content because no one's just going to magically know that you are an authority. So you have to invest the time in creating content that establishes you as an authority via blog posts, white papers, case studies, guides, ebooks. When AI tools are trained on content that positions you as the go-to expert in your market, they will recommend you. And that goes a long way. Again, GEO, generative engine optimization, trying to get you to participate like this is Dora, is where the next wave of lead generation is going to come from. The businesses that we partner with are seeing it as a secure lead generation resource. The businesses that start building it now, because again, we are in the very, very early stages, are going to have a massive head start in building their success. Again, if you comment free PDF in the comments with your email address, we will send you this free playbook. But ultimately, you have to be dedicated to the effort of building on your SEO, your AEO, and GEO. And by using our playbook, you can pull it all together in one simple place that actually allows you to execute. This is, again, for the folks who want to be do-it-yourselfers, who don't yet have the budget for a retainer with an agency like Best Fit Digital, but need to build that digital footprint. We are here to give you that information for free. It's just a matter of effort. So to break it down for you, again, you're going to get your Google business profile fully completed. Name, address, phone number, hours, photos, service descriptions, website link. Respond to every single review within 48 hours. Post updates regularly. This is the one that starts to move the needle. And then SEO, AEO, and GEO. They're all free. It just takes effort. Step 2, make sure your business name and phone number, name, address, and phone number are all consistent everywhere. Google, Yelp, Facebook, they all have to be consistent. Everything. All of it needs to match exactly. Inconsistencies will confuse both Google and AI tools and ultimately hurt your visibility. Step 3, create an FAQ page that answers the 10 most common questions your customers ask you. Be thoughtful about this. Write the answers in plain conversational language. You don't want to be overly technical because then Google might get confused. The AI models might get confused. Again, this is your AEO play, okay? You want to make sure that you help it understand who you are and what you do, and it will also correlate to your SEO at the same time. Step 4 is to get your business listed in at least 5 to 10 online directories. Google the best business online directories for your business or your industry. Some of the easy ones, of course, is your Google business profile. You have Yelp, you have Triple B, Better Business Bureau. If you're in the services industry, something like Angie, your local chamber, any industry-specific directories for your trade. Each listing is ultimately a signal that reinforces your credibility everywhere people search. Step 5, ask every single happy customer for a Google review and build a system around what that follow-up looks like. Whether you're looking at automated emails or outbound calls from your customer support team, whatever that may be, but you need to create a system around getting reviews and not think that people are magically going to decide to give you reviews. And then task yourself or your team to respond to reviews within 48 hours. So what a lot of my clients do, the type of system we typically build is you have an automatic follow-up text after a job is done, and then you email a review link maybe the day after, and then if there's no response, you might send it again 7 days, and then 14 days, and then 30 days afterwards. but these reviews are going to fuel your local SEO, your AEO trust signals, and your GEO recommendations. 3 birds, 1 stone. What could be easier? Step 6 is create a one piece of genuinely useful content, genuinely useful. Okay. When we're first onboarding new clients, a lot of times we'll create content on a weekly basis, but ultimately for you as a do-it-yourselfer, that might be too difficult of a task. And I also don't want you to be overly reliant on AI to create this content where you're not even investing time in proofreading it. You want to create at minimum 1 piece of content per month. It could be a blog, it could be a video, it could be YouTube, it could be whatever you find is going to help you to get it done and get it done consistently. Now, if you have the time to create it once per week, I say do it, but only give yourself the burden of having to do it at least once per month. But whenever you're trying to think about what to build this content around, start with those 10 FAQ questions. Create a blog answering that question in long form. Try to get to at least 2,500 characters if you can, but make it genuine, make it real, make it conversational, and answer these real questions. It is not a sales pitch. I repeat, your blog is not a sales pitch. It's also not where you just say, we're the greatest without explaining something useful to the algorithm to make you show up in search. But it's ultimately, it's not a sales pitch. Make it helpful. Over time, this is going to build you as an authority with Google, and it's going to position you as an answer source. And it's also going to train AI to answer, or excuse me, to recognize you as an expert in your market. 6 steps without an ad budget required. All of them compound over time. So I'm tasking you to start with task number 1 today, at minimum this week. Ultimately, as we wrap up here, I want to be really, really real and clear to you for a moment. The landscape of search is changing faster than it ever has. Like I said, it's almost on a daily basis. And I know that it can feel overwhelming as you try to run a business and you're managing a team and you're handling clients and you're trying to have a life. I dare you. But here's what I need you to hear. The fact that you are watching this episode already puts you in a position to be ahead of most of your competitors. Most of your competitors do not know what AEO and GEO even are. You now do. They are still running the same playbook from 5 years ago. Now you know better. And they are wondering why it is not working the way that it used to. You no longer have to subscribe to that model. You now know what is happening. You know that it's ever changing. You know that this is a free episode source every Tuesday and Thursday, and you know that you have the 6-plan playbook that we can send to you for free. So get started today, get started this week, then come back and watch the next episode as we're going to dive into more details again. Small, consistent actions over time create big results. That is true in business, that is true in fitness, absolutely true in life. It is absolutely true when it comes to digital marketing. Your customers are out there right now. They are searching for exactly what you do, whether it's on Google or via Siri or Ask Google or ChatGPT. You have to make sure that they find you no matter where they are. No matter where they are, you meet them where they are. So again, I ask if this episode gave you something that you can use, hit subscribe, drop a comment below. Tell me which of the 3 SEO, AEO, or GEO felt most new to you today. And I need every single comment to ask for the free PDF with your email address so we can send it to you. And if you want us to give you a professional consultation and audit your business so we can help you show up exactly how you need to show up across the board, then reach out to us via bestfitdigital.co or email us directly with the information at the bottom down there somewhere. But until next time, I want to thank you for joining me for Clicks to Clients. This is episode 5, and truly appreciate you giving us 30 minutes of your time today. So go out there, be great, and make it a great day on purpose.